All right, so you've gone out, you've done this, you're starting to get phone numbers. You get phone numbers from girls in each one of these trees. All right, so, or each one of these different rings, 1, 2, 3, 4. How do you deal with all that? All right, I'm writing a book on phone and text game, and Mr. M's helped me quite a bit with it. There's a kind of a device I came up with that helped me, so hopefully this will help you guys. I call it dynamite theory. Dynamite theory. So we've got all these phone numbers. How do I deal with them? Think of all these girls as like 1,000 sticks of dynamite out there, all right? And they each have a different fuse length, Some of them have a fuse that's 6 miles long and you're gonna have to burn it down for 3 years. Some girls have a fuse that if you light it, it'll blow up in your hand, okay? So obviously what we're trying to do is burn long fuses down to medium, medium down to short. You with me? But each one of those have a little different game plan. So think of short fuses as like throwing a rubber ball against a wall. As soon as you text her or call her, boom, she's texting back. You with me? Don't think of this as hot or not hot. A 10 could be a short fuse if you guys had a deep connection and your situational value was really high and you had a lot of attraction. A 6 could be the longest goddamn fuse in the world. It's pretty funny. It'll make you laugh when you're like, I literally cannot get this 6 to even return a text. Holy shit. But this 10 might just be like, oh my God, blah, 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 right? So a medium fuse, short fuse is, think of short fuse, like I said, it's just the way she sees you. It's her perception of you. She sees you as really high value. She responds to text really quick. She responds the calls. You can jump into attraction and role play. She'll laugh at your jokes really easy. It's just she's all over it. A medium fuse shows tendencies of both a short fuse and a long fuse. In cold approach, most of your numbers you take will be medium fuses. Ideally, you won't be taking numbers in phase 1 unless it's a short fuse. Remember, we're going to wait till neutral rapport. I'm not going to strike until the iron is hot in circle 1. You with me? I shouldn't be trying to boil numbers down from a long fuse because I shouldn't have even fucking asked for it yet. Unless I have attraction, or unless, yeah. So medium fuse has both long fuse tendencies and short fuse tendencies. You'll get those, tons of those in the one-offs, tons of these in the warm approaches, and cold approach, you'll get both long and medium. All right? So with a medium fuse, you have a medium margin of error, and it could go short or long like that. Everybody have that's happened? You got a medium fuse, she replies back to some of your texts, you call, it goes decently. You make one mistake, you drunk dialed her and it didn't hit, and then all of a sudden she won't reply to text anymore. You're like, fuck. Or a medium fuse that it was like, she would kind of reply to text, but you got her on the phone and you were really funny and you connected, and then now all of a sudden she's a short fuse. They can go back and forth like that. Then a long fuse is the kiss of death, right? Long fuse sucks. She hardly replies to anything. You try to start jokes and she gives you one word answers back. Anytime you try to you ask her a question, it's just that she either doesn't reply or gives you like a one word answer. So if it's, we have a thing for this, we call it slow burn game. Slow burn game. In your true social circle and in your one-offs that matter, being like they're one-offs, but they could kind of be social circle soon, I'm going to do true slow burn game. And then warm approaches, you can do slow burn game, but you have the option of throwing Hail Marys if you want. Cold approach, do whatever you want. You can either go slow burn game or you can throw Hail Marys. All right? Slow burn games means that it's true abundance game. And this is what naturals do. They go out and get a shitload of numbers. They work all of them, never worried about one of them. Some of them fall off the map. Some of them stay on the map. It's okay. They're never worried about one girl. Even if they really like a girl, they're still talking to a bunch of them and constantly filling up the roster, right? If you do that, you need to do that too. It's not about being a player or trying to be smooth. Girls do the same fucking thing. Any hot girl I know, my hot girl buddies are fucking texting 20 dudes at once, always. And it's good for your inner game. It keeps you clean. You're never too worried about one girl. You're not over texting. You're not chasing. It takes care of your subcommunications. So we got all these phone numbers. In your head, you're like, what is this girl? Long, medium, or short? All right, I've got her phone number. What should I do? First thing you should do, get sticky again. Start getting sticky. Remember the sticky phase? So I'm going to start pinging. Now, here's the key thing. You need to get sticky. Okay. The less attraction you have when you met, the less personal form of communication you want to use. So if I had very little attraction and she barely gave me her number, do I want to call her? Maybe, but probably not. It's too much compliance. Ideally, I used to think this was pretty gay to be like, I hate when guys are like, I got Facebook closer, man. I got her Facebook. This would piss me off. But actually, the truth is it's a pretty good game. Because a girl that might not have given you her phone number probably would give you her Facebook. Do you get that? So the less attraction I have, the less I'm going to ask for. And the less I want to try. So if I have her phone number and her Facebook and the girl was barely into me, do I want to be calling her all the time? No. I'll start dialogue on Facebook and start trying to burn her, slow burn her down from Facebook. You get that? The more attraction I had, the more personal the form of communication can be. So if the girl was just all over me and we got all the way to comfort and it was going really well, I can be like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Let's hang out. I want to see you tonight. There's a lot more rules of phone game, but these are just kind of the basics, all right? Pinging. Pinging is basically communicating between meets. What a lot of guys do is they make the mistake, they get the phone number, she was really into it that night, right? And then they're like, shit, she felt like that last night, she must feel like this tomorrow at noon. So last night she was like, you were so cute, I'm so glad I met you, you're awesome, make sure you call me. And the next day he's like, hey sexy, I'm so glad I met you last night too. I really want to see you today. And she's like, ugh, did I say that to him? I don't feel like that right now, I'm in my sweatpants. That's weird, he's creepy. And she's like, haha, kind of busy today, maybe next week. And you're like, oh, you take this big gut shot, and you're like, oh, what did I do wrong? Am I weird? What's wrong with me? My game sucks. I need to read another ebook. Bullshit. Does that make sense? I'm speaking from my own personal life here. That's happened to me a bunch of times. All right, so pinging, more or less depending on the situation. My inner circle here, do I want to ping her on the phone all the time? If I'm trying to slow burn someone in my inner circle? Do I want to be texting her all the time? No, why? Because I'm going to see her. You're going to get your heavy lifting done in person. That's what I wish I could do with all these girls. I hate the phone. Even though I wrote the goddamn book on it, I still wish I didn't have to use it. I wish I could do all my work in person, all right? So I'll ping a little bit. I'll ping, but depending on how much attraction I have. If she's all over me, yeah, we'll ping. We'll go back and forth. I'll send her funny stuff, and I'll flirt with her through phone, through text, and I'll call her. But if it's a medium fuse or a long fuse, I'll ping a medium fuse a little bit in my inner circle, a little bit, but I still want to get most of my damage done in person. All right? Long fuse in my social circle, I'm not pinging shit. My pinging on that would mean me writing something funny on her Facebook wall. It's about as close to pinging on her as that would get. You get that? Because anything else would be emotionally leaking. It'd be mean like, I like you, would you call me? Don't want to do that. All right. But a girl in the one-offs, no damage can be done. Unless, like I said, the group boundaries apply here. If it's sheriff's girlfriend's friend, I'm going to ping as much as she's willing to reciprocate. I'm going to mirror her level of pinging. If she's willing to text and call, cool. If she's not, I'm not going to become the creepy guy and make sheriff look like a dumbass. Do you get that? But if it's a one-off through Versetti brought some girls out and I met these girls and I don't know them and Versetti doesn't give a shit, then I'll ping more, not become the creepy guy, but I'll push the boundaries and try to force the meet. Or try to get, not force the meet, I'm going to try to get her to meet up. Does that make sense? All right. And then with warm approaches, warm approach and cold approach, you're going to treat both of these two exactly the same because it doesn't make a shit. Warm approach, you technically got to start out at a short fuse, but you'll see a lot of warm approaches, that situational value wears off and they kind of shake loose and they're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I still like him. I kind of liked him last night. We had those girls around him, but for some whatever reason, I don't know. He's not as funny to me now. I don't know what's up with that, but it just happens. So with those, but the good thing is they can't do heavy damage to your social circle, so you can get away with chasing a little more, or leaking, or texting, or calling, or following up more and more and more, right? With these numbers, with one-offs that don't matter, with warm approaches and with cold approaches, what I do is, if a medium goes long, let's say it goes long, I will double the time in between last correspondence. So if I met her and it was going okay and she went to a long fuse, fuck. And I'll text her back in 3 days. Shit, she didn't text back to that, now 6 days. Then 12 days, then on and on and on and on, right? Don't stop texting, but do stop making them personal. You don't want to be like, what's wrong? Did I make you mad? I was just kidding. I was just kidding. Did I upset you? Hey, what happened? What went wrong? I thought you liked me. Is everything okay? Right? What you want to do is make the text less personal, more like make statements. Don't ask questions. The farther away I get, the more we fade out, the more she's fading to black, the more I have to fade to black emotionally. I can still text and ping, I just can't be emotional. Why don't you like me? What's going on? I miss you. Hey, beautiful. What's going on, sexy? Hey, hey, hey. No, get the shit out of there. It's just the more she fades to black, the more she's emotional, the more I can kind of be emotional. The more she fades to black, the more I need to fade to black. You get that? Everybody with me? But do ping, do make statements, and do be funny. Just double the time in between, because I can't tell you how many girls that were long fuses that just got a boyfriend. They just got a boyfriend. And when they had a boyfriend, they just faded to black on me hardcore. But I'd ping, they'd get a text every couple weeks or every month. And then when they broke up, all of a sudden she was like, hey, what are you doing, Oklahoma? And I was like, what the fuck? And then we hang out. And I'm like, why'd you stop texting me? She's like, well, me and my boyfriend got back together, and I don't know. But because I never got creepy and never got weird, she was cool with it. Do you get that? She's always like, you ever get a text from a girl that you don't want to date right now, that you're not really interested in, but you just laugh? You're like, oh, yeah, whatever. But you're not like, she's creepy. You don't think she's creepy. She's persistent. But she's persistent in a very calibrated way. She's not persistent, creepy guy. You get that? But once again, this assumes abundance. This assumes abundance. This assumes I'm not like, okay, Nick said, but he doesn't get it. This one is the special one. Remember the one I was talking about earlier? She is special, but I'm going to use his exact strategy. Okay, I texted her, called her, sent a carrier pigeon last week. Okay, so I'll save that interpretive dance of how much I loved her for 2 weeks. That should work. And then, no. All right, this assumes you're doing this with 20 different girls. All right? All right, and then going for the meet. Short fuses, the meetup, either the date or the hanging out. The longer the fuse, the less personal the meetup should be. The longer the fuse, the less. So if it's a girl that's a long fuse or a medium fuse, don't want to be like, hey, do you want to grab dinner? Hey, do you want to do you want to do a picnic? Do you want to do some high value thing that I think's high value that I read on MSN or some shit? No. No. It should be focused on the group. You guys should meet us. Hey, we're going to go here. You guys should come. You guys should meet us here. It takes the pressure off of her. She's not even sure if she likes you yet, right? Short fuse, the shorter the fuse, so that'd be for long fuses or like a medium long fuse. A true medium fuse or shorter, a true medium fuse or shorter, then I can start personalizing it. The more she likes me, the shorter the fuse is, the more I can be like, what's up, sexy? Let's grab a drink tonight. What are you doing? If you don't come see me soon, then we're breaking up. And I get the kids, you get the dog. You're a bad mom. All right?